morning. We're having a day off this Shepherd's Hut today. We're going to go for a bit of a run out up and down the highways and byways, but we're just going to get the little Fergie ready. This is my 1952 grey Ferguson TED 20. Tractor England. D stands for petrol paraffin, or petrol paraffin TVO. We'll talk more about that later. This one has been all over the place. I've taken it up to the Pickering Show, it's been down to the Sheffield Fair. It goes all over the place, and it gets driven as well. So it's quite fond of the odd road run. But before we take it out, we're just going to do a few quick checks. We've already fueled her up, as you can see. We missed a little bit there, so we have got a little bit just run down the side of the tank. Always make sure you fuel up when the engine's off, and especially when the exhaust is cold, because the last thing you need is an impromptu fireworks display. First thing, after the fueling up, just going to check the engine oil. Okay, so give that a wipe on there. In, back out. We're halfway. That's absolutely fine. This engine had a rebuild not that long ago. We filled it to halfway, and that's just where it needs to be. Okay, so we're going to work back a little bit. Over the back here, what you can't really see on the camera because it'd be too dark, is the back end oil. Same again, we've actually got many marks on here. This has previously been in probably quite a few other tractors. We've got a minimum and a maximum in there. It's on the maximum. And it's nice and clean, which is quite unusual for these grey Fergusons, because they get a bit of water in the back and then it all goes milky. So we've checked that, we've checked his battery. We've got plenty of TVO on board. TVO stands for tractor vaporising oil, which is basically a mix of paraffin, petrol, and if you choose a little bit of two-stroke oil as well. The petrol side, which is in there, is very low, but we do have some over in the back of the car there, so we'll get that filled up. Make sure we've got all those little tools. We've got a spark plug spanner, we've got a screwdriver, we've got all the dead basic, a couple of spare spark plugs. That's all good, and we'll just check the water. This doesn't tend to use any water. It did its head gasket last year, so we've sorted that out. It's not using any water anymore. All good. This has got the nice adjustable seat as well, which is on the to-do list to get sorted out. But for the time being, it's going to be fine. We've picked a wonderful day to set off. It's 12-13 degrees this morning. New Year's Day. Happy New Year to everybody. It's been postponed 3 times as this run now, so it's going to be great to get out on the road and see what 2022 looks like.
Hello.
How you be? Not like a traffic cone. Did you have a good night last night? You got partying until the wee hours?
No.
No? I don't know.
It was from dead in the village or so.
It wasn't.
Right now?
No. How do you know? on, ease up. Oh, what a bully.
Oh, that's rubbish.
That is over there, and it kind of goes behind the trees, but we're going to end up behind the under the motorway very, very soon. So we're all having a great time, mates, enjoying yourself. Open the gates, and then we're going to give it full power all the way to Huddersfield.
Are we actually?
No, we're not. down at Huddersfield. We ended up calling at the pie shop and closed. So we are down at Huddersfield Centre. No pies in the pub, so we're on crisps. We're just half a pint because we're driving. We've already, the man in the station started talking to us about tractors, and he gave us a free brew, so we got a free brew as well. Winner! So we're at Park Works now. This is where the Ferguson Browns were built. And it's still here, David Brown Santa Salo, still making gears. And the whole idea, the whole reason why David Brown started making tractors is because Mr. Ferguson heard that David Brown were quite a good gear maker. And he said, do you fancy making some tractors with me? And he went, yeah, alright then. So this is where the very first tractors were made. There were only about 1,300 Ferguson Browns. And they were all built at this factory, and then they were moved down the road to the carrier works, which we're going to go down to fairly soon. So there you go, we've got the Park Works right up there, and it's now owned by Santa Sala, who is a company from Finland. So we're at the carrier works now, which unfortunately is a car park, just a car park now. But in there, way back when, is when the Ferguson Brown tractors were stored before they went all over the world. Back when Mr. Brown and Mr. Ferguson were friends. Carrier works, they used to make buses way back when. However, that shed there was used as a storage facility for the very first Ferguson Brown tractors. And local knowledge says that this is where the bust-up happened, and this is where Harry Ferguson left to head to America to meet Henry Ford, which was then the product of the Ford, the 9N, the 8N and the 2N, which looked very similar to the little grey Ferguson. So here it is, the carrier works down at Huddersfield, and that's where the Ferguson Brown tractors were stored once they were built. stories high, but they took it down considerably. It's a lot lower now, but it's all individual units. The last tractor rolled off the production line. I can't quite remember the date, I'll flash it up on the screen. But since then it's been converted into loads of different units. Right, ranging right from Italian, there's an Italian car parts supplier, there's motorbike suppliers, there's carpet manufacturers, and up till fairly recently the actual manufacturing floor was a toilet roll factory. So there's lots of different things happening in loads of different units now. It's all managed and run by a company called Town Door, and they're doing a wonderful job of keeping it and the old factory alive. And it's a real shame to see it in the state it's in now. This is where Sir David Brown used to live, only about 400 yards up from the factory. Up until just before, I think it was just before the coronavirus job, this was open and it was doing reasonably well. What a lovely building to stand empty. So have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah.
What was your favourite part?
No.
What were your worst part? Going down that massive big hill, why?
The brakes don't work.
They do work. Sort of. One wheel, yeah. Kind of pulls you across a bit, doesn't it? Well, I think we've had a right good day. I think May's enjoyed herself as well.
Look at that smile.
Oh, nice. So we've gone full circle. We're back in Meltham now. So we set off sort of north, went around Scammonden, down into Huddersfield, up to Newsome, to Castle Hill, down, then into Honley, across to Meltham, and we're back here in Meltham again. It's got one more little jaunt over the top to Marsden, whether we end up stopping there for a quick refreshment, I'm not quite sure. It's had a great day. It's getting a bit windy now, but we had about 5 minutes of rain, didn't we? That wasn't too bad. Less than 5 minutes of rain, so it's been alright good. We've got Maisie's enjoyed herself. We're all going to board and then get back home before it gets dark. the way round without having a breakdown. No flat tyres, no major incidents. Well, no incidents whatsoever. I don't think we've done really well. I reckon we've done about maybe 40 miles today. We've been all over. Got soaked, been through the water splash. What a day! What a day! It's been absolutely brilliant. So the little Fergie's back in its shed, and so is the David Brown. Both performed faultlessly. So we're going to go and have a well-earned pint now. But all that fresh air has done us all good. We're going to pop into the village. We're going to go and get one of them huge kebabs. Kieran's having 2. I'll have 1. And then hopefully we're going to. He's being the cameraman at the moment, so he's shaking his head violently because I've said he's having 2 kebabs. What we're doing tomorrow morning, we're probably going to do a little bit on the Shepherd's Hut, and then I've got things to do in the afternoon. And then it's Monday, and then it's back to reality. Rubbish, innit? Back to the new year. What we did, back to work, 4th of January. So we'll probably do a little bit on the Shepherd's Hut on Monday, and then it'll be winter's weekends from there on in. So I hope you've liked this video of our little trip around Huddersfield and of course into Calderdale as well. If you like what you see, press the subscribe, the little bell as well, and that just lets you know if we're going to put another video on. So that would be great to see you again soon.